How might that apply in social phenomena? Any ideas? Yeah.
It seems like you're trying to say things come to be, we come to understand what things are, not by grouping it in sameness, but by making differentiations of not sameness.
Yes, good. Yeah, we get our sense of sameness through at least implicit structures of negation, of not being. Good. Excellently put, I think. Social phenomena. Well, how about masculine? What does it mean to be masculine? Well, there are complex structures there. They vary by culture and subculture, but in most cultures and subcultures, you don't understand masculine unless you understand its difference from feminine. There'll often be structural relations between odd things related to the gender differences, like physicality, emotionality, rationality, intuition, and people live within cultures operating through structures like this that are very much connected to what we call ideology. And that's all about first negation, okay? So if you have, how many of you have read Paul Willis's book, Learning to Labor? Okay, all right. Now Willis doesn't say it explicitly, but he analyzed this subculture of anti-school males in an English school. Kids who acted up a lot all the time in school, played up the teachers, ripped up the books. One of them, Willis asked one of them, how much writing have you done so far this term? And the kid answered, I wrote once and it broke me heart. I said, why? He said, because I was trying to get through the whole term without writing a single thing. So they were very anti-school kids. Well, you can analyze his description of that culture in terms of a structure of negations. They had masculinity was pitted very strongly against femininity. It was a very sexist, patriarchal kind of subculture. Book learning, kind of on the feminine side, was contrasted against street learning, physical against mental, and you had basically a series of binary oppositions, which is a kind of structure involving negations, and with some terms homologous, feminine, mental, intuitive, emotional, book learning, all of that was in one part of the string, related. So that's an example of structure. So the idea here is human identity, the way I think of it, and if you have a better idea, you can tell me later on, but the way I think of human identity is that it's continuously claimed in actions. It's not something that is. It doesn't have being in the way a rock has being. It's a pattern of claiming, and it's claimed differently in different contexts and different circumstances, but people tend to have patterns of identity claiming. It's claimed, and then what comes back is going to give a certain amount of affirmation or negation or something in between for that identity claim. Human beings are creatures who don't know who they are and who are constantly trying to find out what we are. And we do that through our actions and through our relationships, and we all need a certain amount of positive recognition coming back from our identity claims. If you don't get enough of that, you get depressed, you get unhappy. If you don't get any of it, then you can have serious mental health problems, I guess we could call them. So it's a human need to be claiming our identities and receiving a certain amount of affirming recognition back. There again, we have something about ideology, because ideologies will limit what can come back to you because of deep-seated beliefs having to do with gender, race, sexual orientation, social class, lots of things that limit and constrain your identity claims and what can come back from them. Changing ideology means changing some of these structures, challenging these structures.